Are you considering doing an MBA but not sure if it's worth it? If so, then this video is for you. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Joe here from Learn, Earn, Enjoy. If you're new here, we post content on a regular basis on the 3 topics, Learn, Earn, Enjoy, which is the philosophy I've lived my life by so far. The purpose of the video today is to draw on my recent experience of completing an MBA and give an insight into my thoughts on it, perhaps helping you to decide whether you would like to pursue one or not. As always, different sections will be timestamped throughout the video, so please do skip ahead if you want to. So MBA stands for Masters of Business Administration. It's a senior level master's degree designed to give an insight into all different aspects of working in a business. For example, human resources, operations and finance. Although academically they're the same level as other master's degrees, an MSc for an example, MBAs are designed for individuals with several years of professional work experience already. Unlike other MScs where it's typical to go straight from an undergraduate to a master's. Dependent on the university that is offering the MBA, it's not uncommon to have extra requirements to be admitted onto a course. Typical examples include demonstrated strong career progression, membership of professional bodies and associations, and extracurricular activities that carry a level of responsibility. Also, in contrast to a lot of other master's courses, MBAs are more practically focused rather than theoretical. This manifests itself in significant levels of group work, real-life consultancy and business simulation projects, for example. The first ever MBA came out of Harvard Business School in the US in 1908. In that one, the first year focused specifically on scientific management. Nowadays, most universities offer MBAs and they differ from uni to uni. Broadly speaking, there are 2 types of MBA course: full-time MBAs and executive or part-time MBAs. The former is typically for students that are not in full-time employment and therefore can dedicate the whole of their time to it. The latter, on the other hand, is typically for students that are in full-time employment and do so alongside completing the MBA. Typically, it's a younger demographic that pursue the full-time option. According to the Financial Times in 2018, the average age to start an MBA, whether full-time or part-time, was just over 30 years old. Whichever option you choose, part-time or full-time, the core elements of the MBA will be the same. Full-time courses typically last 12 months as opposed to the 9-month typical academic year. Part-time courses typically range from 24 months all the way up to 5 years, depending on whether you have breaks in between modules or not. There will be a combination of core and optional modules along with a work-based dissertation or consultancy project at the end. Dependent on the course provider, there may be exams or it may all be coursework based. Personally, the one I did was all coursework based. Globally, there are 3 accrediting bodies for MBA courses. These are the AACSB, EQUIS and the Association for MBAs. Each of these accrediting bodies have different requirements and scope when evaluating a business school for accreditation. If you want to look into these further, I'll leave links in the description below. The most prestigious MBA courses are triple accredited, meaning that they meet the requirements and have been accredited by each of the 3 governing bodies which I've mentioned. This is otherwise known as the Triple Crown. As of August 2020, there are 102 business schools worldwide that meet this standard. MBA courses are also ranked each year by the Financial Times in a league table. The top of the league table is made up of the triple accredited courses. Again, I'll leave a link to this below if you're interested. The cost of an MBA course will vary dramatically from university to university, from a few £1,000s to way up over £100,000 for the course. Universities typically offer grants, and this is definitely something that's worth looking into if you're considering taking part. So I have recently completed a part-time executive MBA at Alliance Manchester Business School. This particular MBA course was global as well, as Alliance Manchester Business School has centres all over the world. As the name suggests, this was a part-time MBA which I carried out alongside my job, which was a blend of in-person teaching before the pandemic and online learning. Obviously, taking part in an MBA is a big decision, both financially and effort-wise. As with all big decisions I make, I started by listing the criteria that were important to me and weighting them in order of importance. I then went through each criteria and scored it out of 10 for each university I was looking at. At the end, I had a weight-adjusted score per university, which then aided my decision. Ultimately, Alliance Manchester Business School got the highest score, so that's what I went with. I find by following this process, it makes me really think objectively about what's important to me and what isn't. And sometimes I surprise myself when carrying this out. Ultimately, Alliance Manchester Business School scored highly on each of these. It's a global MBA with centres all over the world. The fees are comparatively cheap compared to other similarly ranked universities. It's triple accredited, there was a lot of teach time, and it just looked really inviting. These criteria are very personal though, so I would urge you to consider what is really important to you and not necessarily use these exact same ones. We were told that we would need to put in 15 to 20 hours per week of study time. This included the online lessons and self-study outside of these. In every qualification that I've ever done, whether my undergraduate degree or professional memberships, the course leaders have always given an arbitrary number of hours per week required to do well in the course. However, I've never really paid much attention to it, and I've never found that I've had to work the number of set hours which they state at the beginning. However, when starting the MBA, I was shocked. Not long after I started, I realised that if I was to do all of the reading that was set and all of the activities which was advised we did each week, it certainly would take the 15 to 20 hours that they've stated. I kept track of the hours that I was putting in week on week over the 2 years that I was doing my MBA, and on average I did 10 hours per week. This is every single week for 2 years, so not taking out weeks for Christmas and other holidays. So although not quite the 15 to 20, I think if you take into account holidays and non-term time, as others probably would, it probably is up there. So in short, my opinion on whether it was worth it or not is yes, absolutely. 100% it was worth it. However, it is a hell of a lot of effort. The reason that I believe so strongly that it was worth it can be boiled down to 5 factors. Number 1, networking and meeting like-minded individuals. Not only have I made some good professional contacts, I've made some personal friends that I'll keep in touch with forever. Number 2, an obvious one, but the knowledge gained on the course. Not only theoretically, but practical knowledge that I'm already implementing. Number 3 is personal development. I think over the last 2 years, I've greatly developed my communication skills, presentation skills, and got a far greater awareness of other cultures and other ways of working. Number 4, it's far broadened my horizons. Before completing the MBA, I was quite in the mindset that I was in a specific profession, in a specific industry, and that was all I was suited for because of my experience. However, now that I've completed my MBA, it's far broadened my thinking, and I have experience and knowledge of people that have changed careers and changed industry with ease. Number 5, it's a bit more shallow, but the prestige and the external validation of being able to write MBA on my CV. It comes with a level of acceptance and credibility, which I am very proud of. All that being said, I think if you are considering taking on an MBA, you need to be 100% committed to it. There were times where I struggled and it was difficult, but I kept the end goal in sight and managed to keep on going. However, if I wasn't 100% committed from the outset, I could have seen myself not finishing it or taking a lot longer to do it. So I would say, if you are considering it, make sure you are 100% dedicated to it. The last thing you want to do is spend a lot of money enrolling on a course and then changing your mind partway through. If you're not 100% sure, I would recommend not enrolling yet and wait until the time that you are either 100% sure that you do or do not want to do it. Having now completed and reflected on my MBA, there are a lot of things that I would do differently if I was to do it again. If this is a video you would like to see, please leave a comment down below. Thanks for staying with me to the end of the video. If you enjoyed the content, please do consider liking and subscribing. It's a new channel and it will really help me out. I will be posting more similar content on a regular basis. So if you enjoyed this, I'm sure you'll enjoy that as well. So what are your thoughts? Are you thinking of doing an MBA? Has this video helped at all? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks, and see you on the next one.